of what being a provider actually means. Because most men, unfortunately, and it could be the way we're wired, you two had a full-length conversation about providing financially. You didn't really touch on emotion. You didn't touch on safety and security, and you didn't touch on how you could personally provide in an individual relationship. Because when we talk about providing, you can provide for yourself all day long. There's no issue there. But when it comes to another individual being in that relationship, there are certain things that you can do when it's just you that you can no longer do when it's two people. Mm-hmm. There are certain things that they used to be able to just freely do that they now have to reconsider. How would this action make my significant other feel? Mm-hmm. How would this action shine upon my reputation, their reputation? What will people say about us? Because no matter what people say, oh, I don't give a fuck what people think about me. Stop lying to yourself, because you did. If you didn't care what people thought about you, you wouldn't post to social media every 5 minutes looking for validation. Now, where men think providing financially is typically where women think providing emotionally. They believe they're supposed to be 100% emotional providers. And to an extent, yes, you should 100% emotionally provide for your person. Mm-hmm. But there are going to be good days and there are going to be bad days. Most relationships actually go downhill and fail because nobody leaves room for you to be human. Everybody wants the fucking honeymoon phase where it's all fucking candy and roses in the beginning. Mm-hmm. But the second the energy to keep up that charade goes away, you've changed. Mm-hmm. Who are you? I don't know who you are anymore. Are you sure? Because if you were listening to the actions instead of the words that were being told to you, you would have seen the entire time.
Well, preach on to us then.
Oh, I can. Because when you go provider, within your household, any household, whether it be hetero or homo, there are going to be two individuals. Within those two individuals, there has to be a dynamic where you can freely and openly communicate without the possibility of the other being crucified or judged because they actually showed you what they're holding inside. Mm-hmm. Because unfortunately, as men, and even deeper, as black men in America, anything you feel that has nothing to do with your financial success, that has nothing to do with being able to provide for children, being able to work a job and give back to your community or give back to your household, if you feel on a specific day that you just aren't enough and the world is kicking you in the nuts all day, mm-hmm. Who are you going to tell that to?
Who are they going to tell it to, James?
Your significant other?
No. Because the second you try to tell your significant other that, most of the time I don't feel the greatest today. Well, I don't feel the greatest either. It's been a shit week at work. It's been a shit week here at this house with your kids. Notice that's when your kids get thrown out there. This house ain't been cleaned up all week. I ain't had time to do this. I ain't had time to go out to do this for myself. I ain't had time to do this to go do this for myself. That's when the my and I's pop in.
He is the man himself. Look at him. Big old yellow.
And it typically takes a very long, dark rabbit hole of me before somebody actually realizes you. What did I do for you? Because the majority of divorces are initiated by women, but men don't fucking fight them half the time because it's like, fuck, I've been trying to get the fuck out of this anyway because all you cared about was you. You didn't care about me. You didn't ask about my emotions. If I shared anything with you, it got weaponized instantly. Oh, I cried in front of you? That nigga cried in front of me the other day. Oh, I actually shared some emotions. He actually broke down and shared emotions with me. But yo, weak ass out of the. So, if you're gonna provide, you actually being a provider first and foremost.
That's every time a fair movie with
Being a provider first and foremost boils down to the ability to remove I and what about me and think about them. Because a relationship is truly successful when you don't just see what you need. When you see what they need, then you see what I need, then you recognize what they need and I need becomes what we need, and you provide for each other. Because, think about it. There are religions on this planet where it's absolutely forbidden for you to date outside of your socioeconomic class, your religion, color, skin tone, all of that. But people genuinely stop giving a shit about it for somebody they actually love. Why? Because that person can provide everything in their life that they need that these people telling you that you shouldn't can't. Being a provider means being able to take me and turn it into us. Because when you can turn me into us,
I like that. I like that.
you get success.
Yes,
Almost
you do.
every time.
Yes, you do.
And sometimes, unfortunately, people won't also realize it. Being a provider, if it's a bad relationship, means being able to provide the actual sanity and reason why you may love that person, but sometimes you have to let it go before love turns into absolute hate.
Mm-hmm.
And that only gets worse if children are involved.
There was a wise man that once told me that let people go so they can grow.
It's funny because I was just thinking that in my head, and I was about to say it after you got done talking, James. And that is the bio on my Instagram, and it's been that way for years because that is a true statement. Let people go so they can grow.
Then you ain't going.
If you ain't growing, then we ain't going.
So I will see you later.
Right. It just that means your season is
I
up.
got something to say on that topic, but that's another subject for another time.
That means your season is up. Plain and simple. And that's on big pussy.
Now, while the clown, if you were actually listening,
If you actually listening, Jeremy.
if you were actually listening, that was actually the perfect segue into our next topic, which is
Talk to us.
Tell us, James.
Talk to us, Jay.
being a black man in America.
Man, that's gonna be.
That's a long one.
Yeah, that's gonna be. So I'm gonna just give y'all a brief.
I thought we was doing manipulate.
Right.
We are.
Okay.
You want to go
We
to
are.
a mini
I ain't know
segue
what we
to
were
that?
doing now.
Yeah.
We are.
Okay.
Talk
But-
to us. What you got for us then?
What is y'all's experience of being a black man in America?
I think as far as being a black man in America, I never really understood like race until like my early 20s. Like how like you know, we come from like hood school, so like it's a predominantly black. We not used to like being around like white people. See, like for me, I feel like I can blend in with like any like group of people because that's just like my personality. But I never noticed that until I went to like not a predominantly black school. Mm-hmm. So like once I went off, you know, I like hung out with like white people, I hang out with like Asian people, just chop it up. But like as far as like race, I never understood like people legit be racist out here. Like you just have to hear certain shit that they say. Cause like I never picked up on like when they say certain shit and be like haha, and then like laugh it off. I'm like, oh, that's cool. But like it really be like some racist shit. But like far as
sugar-coated joke is still bad.
yeah, like I just be like, damn, like when you think about it, like I never really like just like face race like personally, but like as far as like hearing it like around me,
So for me, man, I feel like I started, realizing, it was a big thing, and I think I was affected around 7th grade. I was going to Bama Middle School, and I got switched over to Twin Creeks. And Twin Creeks was the school where you had a bunch of white kids. It was a predominantly white school. You did have, of course, your maybe about 6, maybe 7 black kids in each class.
Tokens.
And the token black kids. Right. And so I had a Spanish teacher. I'll never forget this. The man said, now, guys, we're going to start with the colors in Spanish. And when he got to the color black, the Spanish word for it is negro. And so he says, now, Khalid, this was before slavery. The language was made. So I don't want you thinking that this is like a joke towards you. So me as a kid, I'm thinking,
you weren't even thinking about it.
Yeah, you weren't even thinking about it.
Yeah, no. For me as a kid, I was thinking about it when he said that.
Really?
I'm thinking he's trying to like make fun of me in front of the class. So I clap back and say, well, can we get on with the history lesson then? I thought this was Spanish, not a history lesson. That was my rebuttal to it. So that was my first little tidbit and touch of like, hey, this is what racism is. So later on that night, I go home and I'm starting to look up, a little bit more into it. Like, what is racism? Technically. Well, basically. And that's when I was just more aware of what was going on. And I even talked to that man, like maybe at the end of that year, and I asked him about that little situation. He just said, I've been told that whenever I say that whenever I'm, of course, going through that little tidbit through the class, that I have to be careful. That's what the administrators tell me. So that's why I said that to you. I said, okay, well, I don't feel like that's something I don't feel like you should throw a disclaimer out there just for explaining a color in Spanish. Like, don't put that in my head as a child. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm 13, 14 years old. Don't get to talking to me about, hey, this is before slavery, so this isn't a joke towards you, all right? What's the joke? And at Twin Creeks, I found out what the joke was, because when I got my ass on that football team and started playing football, I had my first white boy call me the N-word. So that's when I said, oh, hey, I'm at the beach ass, Jack, so... yeah, step outside. So
Beat your ass, yeah.
yeah. But that's where it first hit me at for racism in America. And working at the jobs that I've worked at, my first job was at Cracker Barrel on 45 and Airtex. And working up in that spot right there, all my friends when I was in high school, was our senior year we started working there? Yeah, in the senior year, that's when everybody was like, oh, you work at that spot? Oh, they racist as hell up there. Me working there, I'm like, ain't nobody said one left thing to me. And I'm like, we them boys up in there. Me, James, and Daz, you couldn't, we walked on water in that hoe. We was the black Jesuses of that hoe.
And if they did make any kind of racist jokes, it was literally a joke.
Yeah, just a joke. It wasn't nothing behind it, like no secret intent behind it. And a lot of people say, well, how do you know it's no secret intent behind it? Because the same way tone
and pitch.
Yeah, like tone and pitch, and also the same way you know how a black person ain't coming at you left when they asking you, oh, well, what's up? Like, if somebody come out of nowhere and ask me that, if I know you, I know what you're talking about. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah.
That's up.
Mr. Richmond.
Hey, how y'all doing? No, just playing. Only thing challenging to me for a black man in America is profiling and just like you said, like I do work at a dealership with a whole bunch of white people there too, and they and their little jokes, and most time I can brush it off, but sometimes I be trying to catch myself because some of them be disrespectful. Like, one dude comes back there, I'm not gonna say what position he in or whatever, but he's like, man, it's 2 black guys that work in the parts department. You got my parts manager and you got me. He's like, man, you guys laugh a lot back here. Like, parts is not supposed to be fun. You guys are supposed to be miserable or whatever type shit. And of course, we took that some kind of way because if we were the same color as you, you would never came back here and said that.
Right.
I think he was just more so jealous because black men back here are on their job, doing what they need to do, and
Making
also
money.
just having fun with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So That's really my take on it. I haven't run into too many like racial profiling, but definitely my job has like, you know, opened up a lot to how white people think about black people. Cause they have, like you said, they have like a lot of sugarcoating jokes.
Backhanded jokes, yeah.
They have a lot of. It's crazy how many they have, but they have a lot of them.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know, I catch myself, you know, I either gotta walk, or take a walk, or just whatever, because at the same time, they are trying to get rid of me. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
I try not to bring out my skin color too much there. You know?
Bring out the nigga side.
Nigga, y'all got it.
Nigga.
Y'all got it.
I mean, but you know, your typical white lady clench her purse when you walking by, you know what I'm saying? Typical, you know, black dude. I mean, not white man, you know what I'm saying? He keeping his eyes on you because he's ready to shoot you. You know, so
I had a family pull their kids a little closer when they see me walk
yeah,
by.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I had a white guy in front of me with a little beanie on.
And me personally,
With
I
a
feel
chain.
like they just judging you like off the get go, like the wrong. Because I feel like, you know, in my closest set of friends, you know what I'm saying, we don't give off vibes like that. Like we don't even give off vibes as like we're finna harm you. Because at the end of the day, we're not worried about y'all asses. So
For real.
Yeah, no kid, no kid.
but that's really my take on it.
Would you believe me if I said
I was in love, baby. Oh, no, my bad.
literal first day on this planet I was experienced racism.
Like as an infant?
Like,
First day on this planet.
hold
Racism.
on. Go into detail.
Please explain.
Yeah.
So the day I was born, I was not like your typical black kid. My mom was the same way, where we were born
Light.
white.
Yeah, I remember you telling me
No
about this.
complexion,
I remember
no true pigment,
Mhm.
gray eyed. So the only way you could tell I was black was by the tag on my foot. And my mom, after I was born, she came down to see me because there were some complications. And literally, I was the only black child in that NICU. And I was the only baby in a room by myself in the dark. Because the tag on my foot said African American.
Damn.
This is America.
Well, damn.
Which that ultimately led to people getting fired.
Because they definitely, I can guarantee you, they did have some empty beds in that room that was full with white babies.
Oh, of course.
Oh yeah.
But I wasn't the only child that was done to. Any kid that was black that came through there was a specific set of nurses that would separate those children from the white kids. Mind you, this is fucking 1994. Well past all the segregation and integration and everything else. This is damn near 2000. This is 26 years ago. And they were still doing that. And so, I was told that story when I was about 13. And I was like, wait, they did what? And it made me think, like, wow. Why would people be so hateful of that? And I came to understand that part of it's hate, but the majority of it's ignorance. And the ignorance stems from not the not knowing or the unwillingness to find out, but the unwillingness to realize that when people hear systemic racism, the first thing they think of is the man. People in power, people in charge, people who have the authority to say, yes, you can have this job. No, I'm not paying you like I'm paying that guy. But for me, systemic racism actually goes to where the root of the problem is, because before I heard that story in daycare, one of my best friends was white, one of them was black. Didn't give a shit. You see constant pictures of children, white and black, don't give a shit. where does the racism come from if these children don't care? It comes from the people who are supposed to provide and protect those children and teach them
Right from
that
wrong.
just because somebody's skin is different than yours
Mm-hmm.
doesn't make them evil. It doesn't make them a criminal. It doesn't make them bad. It doesn't mean they're going to harm you. It doesn't mean they're beneath you. It just means they're different than you. And unfortunately for us, being black men in America, that's part of our providing. Because no matter if you have children with a white woman, black woman, Hispanic, Asian, because we're black, those children will come out black. And they will have to deal with the scrutiny of being a black person in America. And it's doubled down if you have a son. Because not only are you a black kid in America, you were America's #1 target. If they can't put you in jail or put you in dirt, you're a threat for just waking up that morning.
And they judge us so much, bro. Like,
Easily.
even their color is robbing and doing all this other stuff
They do worse.
that they come at us for.
Mass murderers. Kid goes and shoots up a fucking church full of black people. They brought this motherfucker by Burger King all the way to jail.
Man kills family, then bury him in the back and kill himself. Like, they just as crazy, bro.
But
Like,
a black guy can't walk down the fucking street without fitting the description. Why?
yeah.
Because systemically, the people who were in power told them, this is how you don't lose power.
They the main serial killers. They the main pedophiles. Everybody do it. Don't get me wrong. Every color do it, but they the main ones, man. And them boys barely be in jail, or they be on probation for a long period of time, or they get the
slap on the
they get
wrist.
to get a pat on the back. Oh,
Yeah,
he had a reason for this
What-
because he has an illness or something.
What kills it for me, it's not even the people doing like the heinous crimes like that. I really feel like, and I'm not trying to say like those things are not as worse, but for me, what like pulls in my heartstrings, like really what fucks with me, is the dudes who embezzle like all of this money from like random, like I'm talking about from all types of people, all types of families, bro. And it's like these people are put into powerful positions in companies or, you know, different politics, positions in politics, and literally embezzle money from families, like hundreds of thousands of families, and fuck people's families up. It's a movie. It's called Tower Heist, and literally this dude.
That's in that movie.
Yes, bro. Like the man, the old white man in this movie, what he does is he embezzles all of this money, and the FBI starts looking for all this damn money that he's supposedly, you know, has.
Investing, no doubt.
Yeah, has in investing, and sure enough, nothing. The doorman who worked at the tower for like 20, 25 years, had his pension, had like I think like maybe $200,000 that he had entrusted to this man to invest for him, and it was all gone. The man stepped in front of a train. Like that's some serious stuff. Like you're not just messing with this man's life, you're messing with his whole like family below him. You know what I mean? That's not just one person you're affecting the whole family. So in my book, you're a different type of worse, you know, human being. You're a different type of human being at that point. Like you're the worst thing, in my opinion, if you could do something like that. Like you're fucking up families, not just one person. You're not just killing somebody. You're making it harder for people to even like get out of the mud. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like that's like sending somebody back into the pool after they don't know how to swim. And hey, I know your brother don't know how to swim too, so let me go ahead and throw him in there with you, even though he don't know how to swim. Y'all will figure it out. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's me.
Picking up what y'all putting down.
Now, how do you feel as a black man in America with your relationships?
Funky, but I think for me, I think I struggle with like the mental aspect of it. So for me, like, okay, I wouldn't say it would be mental, but as far as like stability, I wouldn't know what this shit was like. I was like my dad, but like I stay with my mama, so like my mama has dated people there, so like me, I don't get attached. Like I have moments where like I'm attached, and I have moments where I'm like detached from the world in general, or like from my partner. So like, for my main, like my mama, she'd be like, shit, if you ain't doing